Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Shifts and Pucks News Pack for Friday, July 22nd. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Shifts and Pucks, Facebook.com, Shifts and Pucks, YouTube.com, Shifts and Pucks, Twitch.com, Shifts and Pucks. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. As it's been it's been a tough week for hockey. As Just a lot to deal with in terms of the emotions. Of course, one of the stories of the offseason has been around the allegations around the 2018 sexual assault from June of 2018 in London that has been being investigated and involving Hockey Canada, and now another another situation as Hockey Canada released a statement uh, this this morning from here, and I'll just simply read this statement. Yesterday evening, Hockey Canada learned of an alleged group assault, sexual assault. By the way, I should mention here, I'll reread this, but a trigger warning dealing with sexual assault topics here to start, and I do want you to be aware of that. I'll restart reading this. So again, yesterday evening, Hockey Canada learned of an alleged group sexual assault from 2003 involving members of the 2002-2003 national junior team after being contacted by Rick Westhead of TSN/CTV National News with disturbing details of the alleged incident. Mr. Westhead informed Hockey Canada he has spoken to multiple witnesses who provided him with explicit descriptions of an assault following an interview with Conservative MP John Nader, who is in possession of the same or similar information. The details in Mr. Westhead's email were deeply disturbing, and Hockey Canada immediately contacted Halifax Regional Police, as Halifax was the coast-to-host city of the 2003 IIHF World Junior Championships, and also notified Sport Canada of the information shared with us. We have urged Mr. Westhead to immediately speak with police and to encourage his sources to do the same. We also implore MP Nader to contact the authorities with any information he or his office has received on this alleged group sexual assault. Hockey Canada is committed to bringing an end to the culture of silence in hockey. That is why we are publicly calling for anyone with knowledge of this incident to come forward to police, and we are being transparent in how we learned of this alleged assault and the steps we are taking to address it. Prior to receiving Mr. Westhead's email 2 weeks ago, Hockey Canada staff heard a rumor about something bad, in air quotes. Here's quote, something bad at the 2003 World Juniors, but were given no details of any sort. We immediately reported this information to Sport Canada. In order to learn more, Hockey Canada hired a third-party investigator to try to find more information. They were unable to learn anything before we received the details mentioned above in an email from Mr. Westhead. We believe that the allegations from the 2003 should be investigated by the authorities, and we urge the police to open an investigation into this disturbing situation. Hockey Canada will cooperate with and support the authorities in every way we can. And we once again urge anyone who may have relevant information about this alleged incident to contact Halifax Police immediately. Hockey Canada wants to hear from anyone, past or present, who feels they are the victim of mistreatment, sexual violence, harassment, or abuse by someone affiliated with their organization. You can reach out via the Canadian Sport Hotline, a free, anonymous, confidential, independent service in both official languages, 1-888-837-7678, or info@abusefreesport.ca. We also encourage anyone who may need support to reach out to one of the many victims resource services across Canada. A general list of resources in this area is available on the website of the Canadian Resource for Victims Crime at crcbc.ca. And that is the statement that was given today. The NHL did also publish a statement today involving this. They Their statement from the National Hockey League has been, we were made aware earlier today of the horrific allegations against members of the 2002-2003 Canadian national junior team. The National Hockey League will look into the allegation and will respond appropriately. Andy Strickland has tweeted out as well, reporter for the St. Louis Blues, talking to some agents and front office execs. They seem to feel that it makes the most sense to just cancel the upcoming World Makeup World Junior Championships. That's coming up, by the way, on August 9th, of course. If you remember, the juniors were canceled over Christmas. Of course, you know that due to the COVID outbreak. So they're restarting this again, starting on August 9th. I think there's some mixed feelings about that. Some completely see the point of it. Others are unsure if it's fair to punish this group of players that opportunity. But so we'll have to see what happens there in terms of that situation. Of course, as we know, as well, of course, we've got the standing committee that will reconvene next Tuesday and Wednesday. Uh, Witnesses that will include, they will be bringing back outgoing President Tom Rennie, Scott Stinson, Pascal St. Ange from Sports Ministry, from the Hyatt, representatives from the group that was hired to do the investigation, as well as others. So I think this is going to be very well watched. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting if these questions come up. I think it's going to be I imagine a very intense couple of days with this situation, and it just the snowball gets worse, and who knows what else comes out of this. It's but very disturbing details here from on involving Hockey Canada, and that wasn't the only thing. Of course, another allegation has come forward, and I emphasize this here involving Daryl Cates. This is from a couple of days ago from Benjamin Albright. Court filing alleges Edmonton Oilers owner Daryl Cates paid $75,000 to a then underage girl for sex. Cates would have been 53 at the time. Cates is listed as a third-party defendant and not the main focus of the filing. So, yeah, and that is also in the news here. See where that's at this point. There's not much else to say about it other than that is what is going on in that situation. There was also the comments from John Tortorella this week regarding Tony DeAngelo, regarding some were off put by certainly not necessarily the greatest look for John Tortorella in terms of how he responded to a player that has, you know, he's done his things, and I think that a lot of people have a lot of questions about DeAngelo and his competitor. Here's what Tortorella says. The thing that bothers me, and some of the things I've read, is they're upset about Tony DeAngelo. Tony DeAngelo is a hell of a player. Tony DeAngelo has personality. Is he going to say and do some stupid stuff? You're damn right he is, but I'd rather have a guy doing stupid stuff than having a choir boy here just going about your business. You don't win that way. You don't win championships. You don't build a team without any personality. Tony's going to bring that, and plus he's a hell of a player. I think what people are throwing off is what the Tony DeAngelo has been accused of: racist comments, political comments, even actions towards some of his teammates. Doesn't feel that that's personality as much as disturbing, and certainly for some fans in hockey, a lot of fans in hockey, not a situation that they're happy about with John Tortorella. So. And then, of course, we have the Jake Virtanen trial that is going on. He took the stand yesterday as well. So that's also going on. So not a great week here for hockey for sure. Kind of some dark days in terms of some of the things that are going on. It's not a good look for hockey this week. And certainly with all of this, there has to be a reckoning. There needs to be some changes in this game, and not only Hockey Canada, of course. I think all over the place. We are going to have. We have the last year, with the Kyle Beach situation and so many other situations that have come forward. Even go back before the pandemic, Akeem Alou stepping forward, commenting about Bill Peters. Uh, we have a lot in hockey that needs to be worked on. There's no question about it. It's a great sport. It's a fun sport. I love talking about it. But these are hard issues that we have to face and can't be ignored. And they are continuing to come out consistently. So, doesn't make for an easy news pack for you to digest and listen. I thank you for doing that, but that is where we're at this point. As far as Matthew Tkachuk goes, in terms of the hockey stuff, no update on that. We had our Devin returned from his trip to Europe, joined us. We had a conversation about that. Check that out. I'll be posting the clip, the pod clip, a little bit later on this afternoon. It's been, of course, with the Hockey Canada news, I just didn't feel right about talking about Matthew Tkachuk. But we talked about that. Talked about what Brad Treliving can do, what they will do as well there. And also, of course, we can also talk about what's happening in Columbus here. Of course, they signed Johnny Gaudreau, but they now have a few other questions to think about here. Of course, Patrick Laine did sign a 4-year contract today, $34.8 million. He 176 goals, 151 assists, 327 points, 105 on the power play, 163 penalty minutes in his career with the Blue Jackets, and of course traded from Winnipeg for Pierre-Luc Dubois, Jack Roslovic, part of that trade as well. Jarmo Kekalainen says it was a priority this summer to sign him. He's a special player, one of the truly elite goal scorers in the NHL, and has fit in extremely well with our group since arrival. 36 goals, 41 assists, and 77 points last year, 9 power play goals. In 101 career games, since being acquired. 7.6 points per game, 4th highest in club history. Charlie Panarin, Ray Whitney, and Rick Nash. So they have signed Patrick Laine, but I think Columbus is still going to have to do some stuff in terms of their cap situation. They're over the cap, so they've got some moves to make. Now you got Johnny Gaudreau at $9 million. You got Zach Werenski at $9 million. You got Patrick Laine at $8 million. So you got to move some things around. And one of the questions I would think that would be asked in Columbus is: Boone Jenner your true number one center, or do you need to find a number one center somewhere? That'll be an interesting question for Columbus going forward there as well. Also in San Jose, the FF David Quinn has been reported and as the new coach of the San Jose Sharks. They are still finalizing the deal. So of course Quinn was the former coach of the New York Rangers, and some wondered if he would be the next coach in Montreal when Jeff Gordon took over there, but not the case. They went with Martin St. Louis, but it looks like the San Jose Sharks will be naming David Quinn as head coach. And finally, congratulations to Jim Houston. Jim Houston, of course, the BCHL announced that Jim Houston will be the Broadcaster of the Year award will be now named named after Jim Houston. As they made that announcement yesterday, touched on it briefly. The Broadcaster Award it will now be known as the Jim Houston Award. This is from the Houston started his career calling games for the Penticton V's and the Kelowna Buckaroos back in the 1970s on the BCJHL. Houston says it's incredibly flattering, humbling, and I hope for some young broadcasters. It's inspiring. I hope that in time for those broadcasters, I can be an inspiration for them. The BCHO was my training ground. It was where I learned to broadcast the game. It's where I learned to love the game even more than I had as a kid and as a player. It's just a fantastic experience and a very humbling honor. Of course, Houston's from Fort St. John, was the voice of the Vancouver Canucks on the radio from 1990 to 1998, television from 1997 to 2007, national commentator 2005 to 2011, 11 years as the lead broadcaster, and retired a couple of seasons ago. So that's the news for today. Of course, you can follow us all individually on Twitter. Tyler's TNOBLE, Devin Gord Howe09, Christian Schneid's SCHNEIDZ, Sean Beardy Canucks 03. I am KVOLE. We are scheduled to be back Sunday night for our podcast. Keep an eye out for that. Shifts and Pucks, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening. We'll talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.